I know you guys have the 24-hour rule. What's just been the mentality after those 24 hours? What have you guys been focused on after maybe a tough loss on the road on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, 24 hours is up, and we've been focused on nothing but Washington. I mean, we have a good team coming here, and we gotta, this will be a good game for us to bounce back. And it's going to be a battle, though. They're a good team, and we're looking forward to another really good opportunity.
What's the mentality right now in the locker room, just with kind of the mood of the team 5 games into the season?
I mean, 5 games, I mean, for the most part, I mean, we're still pretty healthy, which is awesome. That, we got a little banged up last week, but for the most part, I don't think there's any, season any injuries or anything. So, it's just continuous recovery treatment as far as physically and everything. But then mentally, I mean, we're just doing everything we can to just be as prepared as we can for Saturday. And, we're just always trying to get better. And, even when there's losses, sometimes that's a really tough learning experience, but sometimes you learn more in those opportunities than you do if you win. So we're just trying to, the 24-hour rule is up, so we're doing everything we can to just get ready for Washington.
Yourself personally, after you watch the tape, what do you take away from how you performed against the Buckeyes that maybe you want to improve on?
There's a couple things that I took away from the film as far as maybe my feet a little bit, but I think overall there's some good and there's some bad, not just from me, but from everyone. And I think, we're just doing everything we can to, learn from that stuff and, apply it to this week and, just really clean up those mistakes and, whatever went good for us, we're going to build on it.
You look at Washington, I know Ohio State has maybe the top defense in the country. Washington's got a stout defense as well. You guys look at this as another challenge for the offense to really try to maybe, get something rolling?
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing in the Big Ten, you're going to play a lot of really good defenses, and for the most part, the majority of them are going to be top 10, defenses. So, Washington's definitely a good defense, and they have a lot of new players, new staff, and everything. But for the most part, they're still a really good football team, and I mean, they played in a national championship last year, so. They're definitely a good squad, and we respect them a lot.
Washington's one of the new teams in the Big Ten. Is there anything they do defensively that's maybe different from what you see from a normal Big Ten team?
I mean, kind of nowadays, every Big Ten team they've been switching it up a lot, within the recent years. So they have their own schematics, and it's early in the week, so we're just doing it. We're just trying to learn our opponent to the best of our ability, and we'll have a better idea by the end of the week.
We had a couple of departures from the program over the last 24 hours or so. Is there an idea right now? Just wanted to make sure you guys are still focusing on the guys that are in the locker room, rallying around the guys that are still here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whoever's here, we want to, the train's still moving forward. We want to, for the guys who left, wish them all the best. They, made their decisions, but our focus is on who's here and who wants to be here, and who wants to help this team succeed.
Was it tough when you come off a loss like that? You lost to Iowa State and you lose to Ohio State. To kind of keep the confidence level up, is there a sense of we're missing out on some opportunities here, even though we still have 7 games to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't really dwell on stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of the part of the 24-hour rule is that we have to, what happened has happened, and if we're just going to sit around and kind of dwell on, maybe a missed opportunity or, what didn't go our way, then, it's going to stack up and lead to, worse stuff, honestly. And we have plenty in front of us. We've only lost 1 game in the Big Ten. There's still plenty to play for. And, it starts with bouncing back this week.
You're mentioning some good and some bad. What were kind of some of the good takeaways? It seemed like you had some good momentum going in the first half there.
Yeah, I mean, overall, in the first half, there was a couple hiccups, but I mean, we were able to move the ball pretty well, and I think, stringing some of those plays together is going to be good for us. I mean, they're a really good defense, and, for us to, show that we can move the ball, I think a lot of it was, our third down efficiency was really good, and, when we were, even our passing efficiency was pretty solid. So I think, those were some really good takeaways, and I think overall, just the maturity and some of the stuff that we were able to find in the passing game, with our receivers, those were some good signs.
You're probably not going to go up against a better defense than the one that you just saw. Does that kind of function as a little bit of a measuring stick?
Honestly, not really. I mean, we play all kinds of good defenses. Some of it kind of all depends on the scheme. I mean, for them, they have obviously a lot of talent everywhere and a really good pass rush and good DBs. So. That's kind of behind us now, though. I mean, at this point, we're just doing everything all eyes are forward, and then it's not like we're gonna play poor defenses from here on out. Like we're playing good defenses, so our focus has to remain strong.
Okay, I know when you came to Iowa, you wanted to kind of help change the narrative, the national narrative around the offense. I was just curious, do you feel like you're playing at the level you hoped you would play at when you transferred here?
I think right now I'm playing pretty solid. I think obviously there's some things I want to clean up, but right now I think really these last couple of weeks I've really found a good rhythm, and I'm getting through my progressions really fast, and maybe a couple accuracy things, but I mean that's going to happen. But right now I think right now I'm just getting better every single week, and that's the best thing I can do to help the team win.
When you look back at the 2 fumbles, was there anything from a ball security standpoint you felt you could have done better, or was it just good defensive plays?
I mean, the first one I had 2 hands on the ball, and then the second one I was throwing well, so not much I can do. I think, I mean, sometimes there's not much you can do, and you just got to move on.
What kind of stood out to you the most from your time with Caleb? Caleb Brown.
Caleb Brown? I mean, he was just a really good dude to me. I think, he obviously has a lot of talent, and, wherever he decides to go, I really just wish him the best.
Seems like this is the new norm now, where this isn't going to be out of the ordinary. I guess I said the same thing there, though. But with the transfer portal, you guys you get used to this type of stuff, where guys come and go. Well, you came in one.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the transfer portal is just something that it's a part of our day and age, and I think it's a good thing and a bad thing too. So I think for me, I benefited from being in the transfer portal, and there's a lot of guys who benefit from being in the transfer portal, where they're able to end up a place where they can be happy and find new opportunities, and whatever's necessary for each guy is they're going to do what they can to find those opportunities, and it just seems like those guys chose that.
There's been some talk nationally in terms of taking out the 4-game rule and just giving everybody 5 years. Is that something that you would be in favor of, or
taking out the 4-game redshirt rule?
Yeah, so instead of having the red shirt, everyone has 5 years.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with that. I mean, for the most part, I mean, really ever since COVID, I feel like the average player in college football is pretty old, and I'm one of them. Who's had an opportunity to, even battling through a couple injuries, I still have an opportunity to play. And I mean, just for the most part, a lot of teams are returning starters, and then it's keeping guys in college and longer with NIL too. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think it would make a dramatic change as far as college football, because for the most part, the guys who are starting as true freshmen are probably the guys who are going to be out in less than 5 years anyways. So, yeah, that'd be a cool rule.
I think you were 10 to 12 out of your first 12 passes against Ohio State. What about that stretch felt good, felt right, I guess?
I mean, when I'm able to, complete, the passes at a high rate like that, I mean, it's good for, our team and for, us moving the ball. And just the more that, we're able to string those together, it's just the better for our team, honestly.
You play a position that everybody feels like they know, and they have opinions.
Yep.
And there are opinions out there right now, as you would imagine, after Saturday about you. Do you stay away from any of the noise outside, and how do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I stay away from the majority of that noise, and I mean, it's kind of a lot of people, I mean, everyone's going to say something about the quarterback play, or I mean, the quarterbacks probably have it the worst. I mean, and that's just that just comes with the position, and that's anticipated by any Power 5 or any quarterback. Criticism is going to come with the job, and we know what's going on inside the building. We know the reads, we know the progressions, we know the routes, we know we know what the true evaluation of it is, and that's the only thing I'm worried about.
When you're looking back, as you're watching a film, what are the things that you're looking for in terms of, okay, I did this well, or what things do you watch?
Yeah, I think whether it's practice or a game, you're kind of evaluating the same things, whether that's footwork, timing, decision, location. I mean, that's kind of the majority of, what comes into, the evaluation process for a quarterback. I mean, also like situational awareness, can be a thing. And I mean, there's a lot of different ways to evaluate, but for the most part, we're still being evaluated in a run game too, like whether it's, footwork, fake, and then, there's all kinds of stuff that, we work on besides just throwing the football.